Hello, and welcome
Welcome.
back to Bookmates with Shelley.
And Yvonne.
We're going to take a little pause from our Throne of Glass recap.
Mini-series, yes.
And just, let y'all get to know us a little bit better.
Yes.
And so we're just going to do some kind of, Q&A.
Yeah.
A little
just
bit.
go with the flow.
Yeah.
So you guys can get a glimpse of what is 101 with us.
Our background, where we kind of came from,
yes.
how we met, and all that
All
stuff.
of that good stuff.
So I'll start with you.
Okay.
And you are from Puerto Rico.
I was born and raised in Puerto Rico.
And what part of Puerto Rico?
San Juan. That's the capital.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And when did you move to the States?
So we moved to Texas. This July is going to be 15 years since we moved to Texas. We moved in 2011.
Okay.
In July of 2011.
Yeah.
At the time I had 2 little boys, and we moved for my husband's work. He got a work opportunity here, and then we said bye. And yeah, all our family and all our families back home. We try to visit as much as we can, but
and you're going to spend some time this summer.
Yes, this summer I'm going to go there for 3 weeks to be with my family. I'm excited. So yeah.
Okay.
And you are from
Louisiana, Sulphur, Louisiana, which Louisiana is shaped like a boot. And we always say we're in the left bottom corner of the boot.
So closer to Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
Closer to Texas. And born and raised there, and met my husband there. So we're high school sweethearts.
Yes.
And
it's like a love story. It's very pretty.
Yes. And like a love story. It's like
ups and downs. But that's how every love story is.
Yeah. He was a few years older than me, and he went into the Navy. I went to college and got my degree in speech language pathology, and stayed there until we moved to Austin in 2009. I think summer of 2009.
Okay.
My sister had already moved here.
Oh, okay.
We were in between. He had gotten out of the Navy. He was finishing up his degree. I had finished mine. So we were at this crossroads of, okay, we can kind of go anywhere. Where do we want to go?
Where do we want to go?
So we spent the summer traveling around
places. That's so cool.
Yeah, because he had done kind of an internship in Alabama, and he had a job that he could have gone to there.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't really
1,000%.
I wasn't a big fan of it because it would have been kind of around the Tuscaloosa area, and I don't know.
It wasn't for you.
It wasn't for me. We tried it out. We stayed for a week and just to kind of see. And then we moved into my grandmother's house because she had passed away that year.
Okay.
And I didn't want them to sell the house. That was my big thing because we grew up in that house.
I remember you telling me that at the lake. Yes.
Yeah. So we kind of moved in. We're like, we'll just hub out of here for right now. Mm-hmm. And I applied for jobs here in Austin, and I applied for jobs there in Lafayette.
Okay.
And this came up first. And so we've been here ever since.
Yeah.
And then you and I met.
We met in 2000. It's going to be 13 years since we met.
Yeah. So it was like 2012, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2011, 2012, like beginning of
I started working there in April.
Mm-hmm.
And then you came in February of the next year.
Yeah. And you're the office manager.
Yes.
And did all the billing and all that stuff there. And I was the speech therapist there. And
there was only, 4 people? 4 therapists at the time when we met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bonded immediately.
Oh my God. It was like boom, like that.
Yes. And if you've followed us on Instagram, we've kind of talked about that in some of our posts. But basically, we both love Twilight.
Yes. That was like our our thing, and then we read 50 Shades of Grey.
Most of the therapists there did.
Yes.
Y'all started it first, and I was new to the group.
Yeah, and she was
like,
like,
what are y'all reading? I don't know about that. And I mean, it was a little bit more risque than I was used to.
But you know something, the thing is this, it always helps when you're reading with a friend, because if something is too strong or too, out of your comfort zone, at least how I like to view it is you have someone to laugh with,
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the things that bonded us lot more,
Yeah. And we started to like similar books from that point on. You would refer some to me. I would recommend some to you.
And it's hard, because you can meet people and people will be like, oh yes, I like reading, but the type of dorkiness and we get very committed.
Yes.
I haven't found someone that knows me, and goes to my level so much as Shelly does. Yeah. So I think that was also something that helped us bond too a lot.
And we did. We did a lot of buddy reads there for a while.
Yes.
And then I had a baby.
Yes.
And that for those that have had the babies, it takes a lot of time and energy and everything else.
Does.
So, and I took a lot of time off of work too during that time. And then I kind of switched genres a little bit during that time.
Yeah.
I kind of went to more thrillers and psychological thrillers. I read more of that.
I went more into my vampire.
Did you?
Yeah, because remember I started reading the Black Dagger Brotherhood.
That's right. Yeah.
I went
and you did drag.
Yeah,
you dragged me into some of that.
Yeah, but when I started reading those books, there was already like maybe 10 books out. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't already, like a long series, which it's still getting.
And like 20 something books.
Yeah, and she keeps like every year, like boom, and so
I think I stopped at book 6 or 7.
Yeah,
I don't think I went past that.
Yeah,
then I kind of switched gears a little bit. I was burnt out, and then we kind of, like life happens.
Yeah,
we just
motherhood, we were
life
tired.
You started working from home.
Yes. So when we met, I was going to the office, even though I had moved.
Yes.
I was going to the office, but then I got sick and a lot of things started happening, and then I was able to start working from home. So we were, we talked, but it wasn't like in the beginning, because in the beginning we were there all the time, so but even with that, every time we saw each other, it was like
picked up
where we
left off, and then we would meet up because our movie theater would have a Twilight marathon.
Yes.
When all the movies finally finished, and we went and spent the entire day. We had our blankets.
Oh my God, it was
and our blood bags. Remember? We nerded out so big.
Then we went to see Magic Mike too.
Oh yes,
and we went to see. I didn't see Twilight. 50 with you. I saw it like 20 times, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it in the theater.
No.
It was a little too awkward for me to see in them.
I know.
But and then you got pregnant with the Lydia.
Yes. Then yes.
And then 2 months later, I was like, Yvonne.
I'm like, no.
Too. So we were both pregnant
at the same time. Yes.
Which was just
it was perfect. Yes.
It was a beautiful
thing. Yeah. It was such a beautiful way to, it was another layer of our friendship and our bond, It was very good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. And then I got sick.
Yes.
And then it was just kind of, when you would come down south, you'd come and visit me.
Yeah, every time I would come down, I would try to come early.
And then same thing with me. So she lives next to IKEA.
Yeah.
And anytime I'd have to, so we live about 40 minutes apart.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Well, yeah, with
depending
that,
on traffic.
yeah. With traffic, like 40 something. Without traffic, you can do it in 30,
Yeah.
which is not bad.
So
you know,
I'm south of town. She's north of town.
Yeah.
So it really is not the most convenient.
Yeah, but we make it work.
We make it
you
work.
know,
Anytime I have to head up north for something, it's like I gotta go back.
Yeah.
Well, and you're in the epicenter, right where you are, because
Yeah.
you have the IKEA and the Bass Pro and all the places.
Yeah, I
that
have
we
a
go
lot
to.
of Yay me.
So we would connect that way, and then it was last year.
You got sick, and then that was really tough.
Yeah.
And I think that was also a time, since Valeria was also little, I wasn't reading either. We were just so tired.
We were tired. Life was tiring.
Yeah.
And then it was last year, I had finished a series, which was the Blood and Ash series by Jennifer Armentrout. And it was so good. And then, and I think we talked about this in the intro, but you were reading ACOTAR kind of on and off.
Yeah.
On and off.
Yeah, I had started with the first one, and then I had picked up reading back up again for a little bit.
We both would, unknowing to each other.
Yes.
We were both kind of in this. And I think the way that you and I are, when we find a genre, as soon as we finish a series, we're like, what's something that's similar to that? Mm-hmm. So I had finished this Blood and Ash, which I loved. And then I texted you saying, hey, I just finished this amazing series.
And I think you're going to love it.
And I just had assumed you had read it because it was so amazing.
No.
And I was going to dabble into ACOTAR, and I wanted your opinion on that. And you're like, it's okay. I'm in it now. And then that's really how we picked up.
Yeah.
You started reading the Blood and Ash, and that was when the voice memo started.
Like big time. Yeah.
And it was you that introduced me to the voice memo.
Yes.
All of it. Because I would send these texts, long texts, and then you just, I'm going to send you a voice memo. Well, I was like, what is this thing?
My thing is, I like to feel people, and I talk about energy and all that. And for me, just to be able to look for ways that you can connect, even though you're far away. And, I've had to learn to do that with my family over in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
So for me, a voice memo is something so unique because it's almost like you're talking with a person.
It is.
And then you listen to them and you start laughing. So that's where the voice memo started.
It's funny that you say that, because every now we don't really talk on the phone that often.
No.
It is just voice memos back and forth.
And it's incredible because if we need to do like a phone call, we will schedule it.
We schedule the phone
let
call.
me see where we have time. But that's also why our friendship is so effortless. You know?
Yes.
We understand the craziness, and sometimes that voice memo is something that you just need for like a pick me up. Like, okay,
Yeah. Well, and Yvonne's energy is amazing, always. And so you can hear your smile on the phone through the voice memos. And so even if I'm having just a crud of a day and I hear your voice, I'm like, oh, okay, all is right in the world.
But something too, I have to say, it's also having the opportunity to be able to be your true self with someone, I've always had a hard time connecting with women because I need substance, if I am giving my time and I'm carving time, I need to know that it's going to be for someone that it's going to, match it, you know, but also being able to like dork out, and I will send her a message like, I'm missing Rowan today. Or what would you think Castile will be doing right now? And she, bless her heart, she's like, oh my God, yes, totally. She gets me.
So that's really how all of this kind of merged.
Yes.
And we came to So our favorite series is Blood and Ash, which we're definitely going to get into after we finish the Throne of Glass series recap.
Yes.
And there's kind of 2 series along that. The Flesh and Fire is the second one by Jennifer Armentrout. So the third book was coming out, and we scheduled.
Yes, because I kept seeing on Instagram girls trips,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
like
That's how it came
going on a reading only trip.
Yeah.
So I sent Shelly, I'm like, for 2024 we need to go ahead. And I remember it was like maybe in March of last year.
Yeah. Well, you kept sending me all these little like memes and all these little like videos of going off to the cabin in the woods. And I was like, we have a cabin in the woods. And it's my husband's family's lake house in Louisiana. And I was like, we have this. Yes.
It was
Let's
perfection.
Do this.
It was perfection.
So we met up at a bookstore.
Yes.
And we got our calendars out, and then the release date was here. That
it turned out perfectly.
It was perfect. The weather was perfect, and we sat and read for 3 days straight.
It was glorious.
No kids, no husbands, no anybody else, just us
and Nikos.
And yeah. And we had our roots. Like, it's so funny how you get into a routine, too.
Yes.
It's like, wait, if you woke up before me, you'd have coffee out by the lake.
Yes, every morning.
And then I'd come up after. We'd cook breakfast together, sit on the back porch.
To start reading.
And we would read for a couple of hours.
Then we took a break.
Go for a walk or go in the canoe.
Yes.
And then come back to reading again. And then dinner. And it was like this whole...
It just flowed.
It flowed so effortlessly. And it was so... And to be able to read next to each other... Well, here's the other thing. I'm a very fast reader.
Mira, extremely fast, okay? She's like, okay, I'm done.
But here's the thing. You remember details
that
I don't. Because I'm like... And you're little...
I have only been able to read one book before Shelley. And it was from Throne of Glass.
The Assassin's Blade and Tower of Dawn.
Was it Tower of Dawn? No, it was.
Both of those you finished before me.
Yes, it was only Tower of Dawn.
And Assassin's Blade, you finished that before me. Yeah. So with us reading next to each other, I was like, she's what? I'm like, what is happening? I'm sorry. And then I would slam book and pace the floor and be like, but I couldn't say anything.
And I'm like, wait, I'm almost there. What chapter are you on? What? We kept asking each other that all the time.
And then I'm just sitting there like, oh my
gosh. This is my, when my husband knows that I'm like, it's like this.
Yeah.
That's
my
go-to.
I'm usually like this. I do it with my hands. But that was fun.
But you know something too? It's been so amazing because it also, and for me, it teaches we are very family oriented, both of us. You know, for us, our family and our kids are very high priority.
Mm-hmm.
And also being like a mom that it's there, you know,
yes,
that fills our bucket, you know,
yeah.
And we're
active participants. In our
and it's been
lives.
Very beautiful to be able to also, you know, connect that way. But then for my kids, you know, my daughter even tells me, she's like, I want to have a friend like Michelle when I grow up, you know, because they know it's something. For me, it's important to, and it has also helped me as well, because sometimes we forget, you know, that we are a separate being.
We're not just a mom.
Not a mom or a spouse, you know?
Yeah.
So that has been, for me, it's been very healing.
Yes, for sure. I agree with all of that.
Yeah.
And it is really, and I think in today's world, and, you know, everybody's very busy.
Yeah.
And I feel, and this is just a general observation, could be wrong. I also apologize if you hear my dog barking in the background.
She's okay.
She did well in the first episode.
It's okay. She wants to be part of it.
Yeah, she does. And she's like, what is this storm? But I think, so spending the time on a hobby
Yes.
has been great.
Mm-hmm.
And then being able to spend time, quality time with a friend,
Mm-hmm.
it really has made me open myself up more to even other friends too.
Yes.
And make more time. Like,
Yes.
oh, this is filling my cup up.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
Yeah.
And I feel like a shift happened, which, I mean, you and I are pretty much in agreement with electronic social media and all that kind of stuff.
1,000%.
Not to go into that on that.
We will do another podcast on that.
TED Talk to come.
Yeah.
But especially with COVID, everybody kind of got very introverted.
Yes.
And very much into their own space, and we kind of detached from people. And so to get back into, oh yeah, like I can actually go meet somebody for coffee. I can making the time.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Making the time to go and meet someone at the bookstore or go shopping or, just.
But it's not a
or
chore.
A phone call.
Yeah, it's not a chore.
It's not a chore anymore. Yeah.
Sometimes for me, it was before, I think I didn't want to do it because I didn't think it was too much work, because people had these expectations, and then when you try to met them, it wasn't genuine.
Yes.
And I don't have time for things that are not genuine in my life.
I am one too. You will not find me doing small talk.
I can't.
Or deep diving.
Mm-mm.
So I will not spend that energy on, hi, how are you? I'm nice. I'm not mean.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But,
it's not like you're not going to talk to people, but,
yeah.
For me, if you are carving time for yourself and you're inviting another person into that space,
mm-hmm.
it's beautiful to know that that person understands because they feel the same way, you know?
For sure. So, yeah.
Yeah. And our husbands also have seen, they just laugh,
Yes.
Warren laughs with me all the time.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, it's like, I'm pretty sure you're telling Shelly, I'm like, duh, of course.
Yes. I think they kind of know when they pass by and they see us texting and giggling. It's like, oh, are you talking to Yvonne? Or, oh, you're talking to Shelly right now. Yeah. We're sending memes back and forth right now.
Yep. That's, that's how we are.
Yeah.
And that's how we flow.
And that's how Bookmates
got
created.
Yes.
From our trip to the lake, we started just kind of talking about it more and more. Yes. And we were like, well, let's do the Instagram and start there. And then, okay, let's take it one step forward. So we're glad that you're along for the ride.
Yes, we're super excited about it. Yes, like we are. So, yeah.
All right.
Well, see you next episode.
Yep, next episode.
Bye.